Yo, welcome to the Real Football Podcast, episode 9. As you can see, the Chelsea flag is up. We're the best team in the Prem. I'm saying it now. But hey, I got my guy Jake with me, got the Jackson Dumbest, but I also have two special friends of ours, Luke Williams and Jeremiah Noble. So how y'all doing?
Good. Pretty good. Happy to be here.
For sure. But hey, a lot to talk about, man. And we're gonna jump straight in. But before we do that, Jake, glad to have you back, man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a bag.
I had to pay the bills, yeah.
For sure. Well, we are glad to have you too, man. But let's go ahead and jump on in. So first things first. Luke, a Chelsea supporter.
Yep.
So here's the question, man. Is Chelsea hitting their stride? Is this the Chelsea that should have started off earlier? Are they going to continue dominating the way they are? What do you think, man?
I really think they will, honestly. We're looking at a team that people like Hakeem Ziyech, who's came in and we bought him to be the playmaker that he has been for the past 2 or 3 games that he's been playing. And Werner's class. He's been good since the start.
Oh yeah.
We're starting to see Thiago Silva is starting to solidify the back end. Chilwell's been good all year. Like those signings that we made, they've been turning out really well. Like we've been playing well, and I mean Mendy's been solid in the back, and really Mendy hasn't. I mean, he hasn't seen a lot of shots, but at the same time, like. If Kepa hadn't seen those shots either, like the ones they got through were probably scoring. So, I mean, you got to – Yeah, I really do. I really do. And I will say that having Mendy in the back, I think, has given the defenders confidence that they didn't have before.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, Kepa just wasn't – whether or not he's got the ability to play in the Prem, he wasn't doing it then. He's got to figure something out if he wants to come back and play for us. So – yeah, I'm happy with the way the team's playing right now. I feel like we're all starting to hit our stride. We're starting to get in form. And then, I mean, we've got 2 top playmakers that are still trying to recover with Pulisic and Havertz. So I really like what we're working with.
So just to jump in, since you said that, so Pulisic, Havertz, 2 potential, I would consider key pieces are not even playing now. And they're doing well. So, you got to ask the question that everybody's wondering. What do you do when they get healthy if we continue winning? Is this a Man City thing where you have great players on the bench? Or is this going to mess up the dynamic because you want to get Havertz, a lot of money spent on him, Pulisic, a lot of upside? Like, what do you do?
I think for Havertz, it's an easier question than it is for Pulisic. Because I think I will say because I think that Jorginho coming out for Havertz or Kovacic, either one, I think that Havertz filling in the midfield is a lot easier substitution than up at forward with Pulisic. And I think Havertz has been good in the midfield. I think he's got room to grow. And I just feel like I think that we have a good midfield with Mount and Havertz and then having just Conte in the back. But I think Abraham's been good up top at striker, and Werner's been good on the wing.
You like Abraham?
Yeah, I think.
He doesn't like Abraham.
I think that he's held his own. And I'll say it. I was looking up stats, and I want to say that Tammy Abraham has like the 4th highest match rating on the season in the Prem on the Chelsea team. Yeah. And so I think that it's a tough thing to say that Pulisic just gets his spot back right when he comes back. And not to say that he doesn't deserve to be coming back. And, like, I fully believe that Pulisic is capable of taking that spot. But I don't know that it's, like, an automatic he gets it back when he comes back. Just because of the way that top 3 of Ziyech, Werner, and Abraham, like, it's buzzing right now. There's no reason.
Hey, who have you played the last 2 games?
Hey, wins are wins.
You got to bring that up.
We'll find out moving forward.
All right.
So,
I mean, if you look good, you look good. I mean, we'll see what happens moving forward, but
I think so. What do you think? What do you think has been the biggest impact? Has it been the new sign? Like, has it been a specific new signing? has it been like Ziyech? Is it just Mendy? Is it just Werner? Is it Thiago Silva who's been? I really did not like it at first, and now I'm like, okay, I get it. You kind of want that vet. You kind of want that, and I'm not comparing him to Company or Terry, but you want the old guy who's like, he's probably not like fast enough to play, but you have the IQ. Like, who would you consider? Like, what would you consider to be like the reason this is happening now, compared to last year and stuff?
I personally, I don't want to say that it's any one signing that has put us over the top. I mean, we made a lot of signings, and we're fielding like a lot different team than we were at the end of last year. So it's tough to say that it was one person because, I mean, we've had good additions on offense with Ziyech and Werner, and our defense has solidified with Chilwell and Silva and Mendy. And I will say signing Thiago Silva was a big deal. I think that he's a player that has known how to win. He's been on winning teams. I mean, he started in the Champions League final for a reason. So it's just, I mean, I think having that winner helps. And the same way, I mean, Werner, Ziyech, they've been around for a while. They're still, I mean, they're younger, but they've won. They've played good on good teams. And so I think just bringing that whole, like all of these signings together, and then we still have allowed room for our young guys to come in. Like Mount has competed for time. We still have Conte, who's one of the best in the game.
For sure.
Abraham has come alive. Reece James has pretty much taken over that right back spot over.
Yes, sir. That's my guy. So
it's
question
just been a mix.
For sure, definitely. I think I agree. Definitely been a mix. Question for you, but also everyone. What like? Do you think Chelsea? And I'm trying to think of a better way to put this. Do you think Chelsea? Because I feel like if I say, do they have a legitimate shot to win the Prem, you can kind of say anybody does. But like over or under, do they get? Where do you think they land? Like, are they getting 1 or 2, or do you think they're going to be below that? Like, what do y'all think? Can Chelsea actually win the league or get that second spot? Because honestly, right now, the more I'm seeing people play, I think that second spot might not be like too unrealistic for real. What do y'all think about that?
Hey, Chelsea can win the whole thing. Like, I mean, I was going to ask y'all, how many games has Frank Lampard managed where he's able to use signings that he made on his own? It's been just a few, right? This year, I mean, he's eight games in the Prem. How many games has he played with a real goalkeeper? You know, I mean, it's like everything. Like he just now figured out how to whatever you say. This is midway through his second year. His practice is now. He's doing it now. He's got people coming in. He's got a real goalie. I heard we can talk about this later. At least a top 2 fullback partnership. You think Reece James and Ben Chilwell at least?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
50 million well spent.
For sure, and I never believed that I would say that, but Ben Chilwell seems to be worth the money. But you look at the table and you're like, Tottenham, they're going to bottle it. Liverpool don't have a back line. Like, why? I think it'd be dumb to say that Chelsea will not contend for number 1.
Hey, man. I like it. Jackson, what you thinking?
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know about 1. I'd say Leicester, Liverpool there, and then 1 or 2 for them.
Okay.
I'd say that 3 to 5 range, and I'd say 3, but I don't want to get too high on Chelsea right now.
Well, hey, what's
I'll
up?
wait until they play someone good.
Wow.
And beat them.
I'm going to say and beat them. All right. Yeah. I don't trust Leicester, and we'll talk about this more, but Leicester kind of bottled it last year. They had chances to carry it home, and they didn't. Jeremiah, what do you think? I know Chelsea's not your favorite team in the world, but you think they got a shot?
Yeah, Chelsea, they definitely have a big chance. Just the way how shaky the Premier League is looking right now.
Yeah.
Chelsea, I think they're a definite lock for 1 to 3 for sure.
No doubt. I definitely got them. I got them 3rd, I think, in my last rankings. Jake, hold me to it. I could be wrong. I can't remember. But yeah, Luke, I think Chelsea, I think they have a legitimate shot, man. And I think my last question for you, unless anybody else has one, is, looking at this team, who are you most impressed by? Who have you enjoyed watching the most so far this year for Chelsea?
Man, That's a really tough question. I think if you asked me this in a couple of weeks, I could probably be saying Ziyech, but just because it's been such a small sample size, I'm just gonna have to go with Werner. Like,
Demo.
I wanted him to be like a big impact on offense, and he's been that, and it's still just been so exciting to have somebody that, like, I mean, anytime we're on that like their side of the field, there's a chance to score. Like, he's just like he's the striker we've been wanting to have for a while, and he's just a playmaker. He's speedy. He finishes it when he needs to, and yeah, I love having a guy like Werner up top.
For sure.
That's for me.
I'm actually loving Ben. I'm loving Ben Chilwell, man. I was on the Sergio Reguilon. I probably pronounced that wrong. I was on that bandwagon, like, bro, buy him. He's cheaper. He's good, which he is. But hey, $50 million, well spent. I'm loving being at left back. But yeah, man. Hey, Luke, appreciate you. But now, if anybody has any questions for him, now we are moving to another topic with another team that you can say is underperforming too. Is Manchester City. So has Pep overstayed his welcome? So Jeremiah, where is Jake? Where is Manchester City at right now on the table?
Shoot, I just had it.
10th.
10th, yeah.
10th,
With
10th.
the game in hand, so they are just a match out of 5th, tied with Chelsea, but they are 10th.
All right. So 10th place, a match away. I mean, a match out, of course. But you look at a team as Manchester City, you say, hey, fighting for the title is going to be Liverpool's strongest competition. I had Manchester City winning the Champions League this year, like I don't want to say an idiot, but that wasn't smart. But Jeremiah, what do you think when you look at this side? To me, it's looking like a side that is slowly like just running out of steam. Like, has the Pep way? Is it just not working, or is it the injuries? De Bruyne never really stays fit. Sterling kind of comes and goes. Like, what do you think's the problem right now with the Man City squad?
For me, the main problem is our attack. And I know you look at our team and the attack is probably the best part of it.
Yeah.
It's been probably the most let down thing this season. Yes, we have injuries, and every team does. But in the final third, we lack urgency. We can't. We need that, that finishing touch. But also something else that nobody probably wants to talk about is the sale of Leroy Sané. We miss him more than I think.
Yo, I like that.
Realize.
And y'all let him go. I mean, for cheap.
They had to let him go.
Yeah.
They had to let him go. Apparently he wasn't going to sign the contract, so they sold him when they could. But man, you got to do something. You got to let him live in Germany. He wanted to raise his kids in Germany. You got to let him live in Germany in the summer. Tell him to come back whenever he wants. That dude is incredible. And I don't know, like I wasn't talking about it, and then he left, and you really noticed him leaving. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's huge. So you look at Aguero, injuries, getting older, Manchester City legend. You look at Jesus. Like, who do you prefer? Like, who do you want to be the consistent number 9? Because I feel like when I look at Manchester City, it's always Aguero gets hurt, Jesus gets hurt, somebody weird plays, you got to change the formation, then they come back. Like, should they sign a new striker? Should one of them just become the starter? Like, what do you think's the fix for the offense?
For now, I think we have to go with Jesus at striker. Aguero, he hasn't proven that, number one, he can stay healthy and we can depend on him. But long term, I think you have to sign Haaland. We've lacked height. We've lacked height at the striker position for years, since probably Dzeko.
Yep.
So I think we have to go with Jesus for now, but later on, we got to splash for Haaland.
Yo, that's crazy. I've never thought about that being an option, but why? I don't know why I haven't, because that's definitely an option.
Yeah.
Is Manchester City. That's crazy, man. I think if y'all get Holland, it's wraps. I mean, he's looking like. I mean, really, guys, what do y'all think? Is he? And I hate to say, is he better than Mbappe? But like, I mean, is it close now? I feel like Mbappe was kind of that dude, and then you had like Felix. But like, is Holland? Like, where y'all rank Holland right now?
I mean, in the young boy category, I mean, he's got to be top 2. I think that Mbappe would still be better. It's just the Farmers League that he plays in. You're not getting these Mbappe alerts every day. You know, like he could have 30 in Ligue 1 and people aren't going to talk about it. But I would love to see him move and get challenged. I think that's why Holland, he keeps moving to bigger and bigger. I mean, 3 years ago we'd never heard of him, and now he keeps challenging himself. And I mean, he's definitely top 2. I mean, he might even be top 5 of all people in the world at number 9. You know,
that's crazy. Jackson, Luke, what y'all thinking? Is Holland the go-to? Like, let's say you can buy Lewandowski or Holland right now. I know Lewandowski's older, but is Lewandowski like who? What number 9 are you getting? Are you picking somebody over Holland?
I'd get Holland because I don't think you can get Lewandowski because he's on the world champion team, and I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon.
Of course.
So, you got to go Holland.
I mean, I'll say, if we're using that logic, I mean, I'm sure that Dortmund's not dying to get rid of Holland either. Like, and they have a solid squad. They're trying to win now too. But I mean, I think that Holland's the gold standard. I mean, he's tall, he's got pace, he finishes. Like, he's just, I mean, he's the wonder kid. He's the gold standard. I don't think
he is.
How tall is
he? 6'4", I believe.
He looks 6. Yeah, he looked like 6'4".
He ran the fastest in Der Klassiker. He was the fastest player on the field. Man, he's too big to be that fast. I don't.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yo, back to Man City. Where does Man City end up in the table? They could be 5th if they get a win. So we're assuming they get 5th. But like, I guess my 2 questions for you, Jeremiah, is 1, where do they end up? And 2, where can they end up and it be a success? Like, where does that end? Like, can you be 3 and a Man City player and fan and be like, I can take this? Like, what is a win for this season if you don't get the Prem? Like, what are you thinking?
For me, the only win if we don't win the Prem is winning the Champions League. I'm not gonna accept anything else. I think in the table, I'd probably see us getting 4th.
Ooh.
Right now, 3rd or 4th. And that's wishful thinking, honestly. We got to get healthy, and we need our stars to perform. We can't be missing penalties, missing in front of goal. I know it happens.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
yeah, I'm hoping we can finish 1 or 2, just with all the injuries that Liverpool has. But realistically, we'll probably be 3rd or 4th.
Because 3rd or 4th, because I'm looking at the table like you got, I think Southampton's in there.
Yeah.
So you got, I'm assuming Chelsea is gonna make it. I don't know if we assume Liverpool, but if you assume Chelsea, if you assume Leicester,
Spurs.
that's like if you put Spurs, so that's Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, all fighting for 4th. United somehow will end up there.
Sorry.
So that's tough, man. I think, unless anybody else has a question, I have one that I feel like people aren't thinking about, but I think they might begin to start thinking about this now is, let's say Pep leaves. Who replaces one of the greatest? Like, who would you want the coach? Like, y'all had, I think, Pellegrini, and like y'all really hadn't had a big manager like as Pep, and now like how do you replace? Like, what do you do with that?
I'll start. It's really only between 2 people. You got Pochettino and you got Nagelsmann from RB.
Ooh,
those are the only 2 I would want. And apparently they're both eyeing our situation, so who knows? But it's definitely one of those 2 for me.
Gotcha. What do y'all think, man? Who can coach Man City if Pep leaves or gets the sack?
I mean, I'd say Pochettino. I don't know what squad that would fire a manager, have a manager leave, and not want him.
Mm-hmm.
When we were talking about the gold standard of Holland, I mean, Pochettino took him to the Champions League final with no signings. Like, this dude, he's young. I mean, the media loves him. Have you seen him on these? He's doing that Champions League show
Yeah,
with
Scott Sport. Yeah.
This dude,
Yep.
people love him. I mean, I would go him. I love Nagelsmann too. People don't talk about him enough. I'm sure there's some others like Allegri that fell off the earth. And you've got Deschamps from France, and you've got some failed Real Madrid managers. I would go Pochettino if I could.
Coach. No Eddie Howe, man?
I was going to say Eddie Howe, but it's Manchester City. This isn't – I mean, it's hard to say he's not one of the best, but –
Hey, I got a question for y'all. Who's going to lose their job first, the United guy or City? Who's going to lose it, United or City? Because last week on the show, me and T were talking about how I can't think of his name because he's not good. He's not a good coach, United guy.
Gunner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Gunner.
Yeah, Ole Gunner. Me and T were talking about that he might be gone by Christmas. So when do y'all expect Pep to leave?
See, that's my biggest argument for Pochettino not going to City is I think when Ole Gunner leaves, I feel like the world knows Pooch is like I feel like he's going to Man U. Like, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. Like, they're just Ole Gunner never loses the game he needs to lose. So who do I think's first? I mean, The crazy thing is, it would be easy for me to say Gunner, but like, you look at him, like, they team still kind of ugly. They ain't spend as much money as them. He ends up winning. Like, Man City has, I hate to say the expectations are higher because for fans, Man U should win the treble every year. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
But for City, it really is higher. So if Pep if he's not in the top 4 by Christmas, I mean, I can see it happening. What about y'all?
I mean, people would think it'd be crazy to fire Pep, but remember the year that Leicester won the league, the year after that, they fired Ranieri before Christmas.
Yep.
Oh, this is what are you doing for me now? I'd like to say that Solskjaer might be invincible, man. He's always one game away, and then he figures it out. I could see, because Pep, this is the long, and I could see Pep, I could even see it being mutual, not even a firing. This is the longest he's been at a club. Normally he wins the treble and leaves. He's proven that maybe he's not capable of doing that. So, I mean, it could benefit both sides that they just get him out of there.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think that it's Pep first too, just because I think that this is Man City's year to win it, if you ask me. Like, last year, Man City, they were a good enough team to win the Prem, and Liverpool was just better. And really, like, it came down to a point where there wasn't much they could do about it. And this year, there's a lot they can do about it, and they're nowhere to be found. They're hanging out in the bottom. So, like, I mean, I think that this is something where people are going to be upset. Like, this was Pep's opportunity to get the team going and take that top spot while Liverpool's down, and haven't really been able to do it.
If you look at the teams right now, I think it's a good way to kind of end this off here is who, like, given all the injuries and stuff, who has the best team in the Prem? Who has the best team in the Prem right now? Given, like, with the people injured. So if you take injuries away, I think it'll be easier. But right now, who has the best team? And that's different from saying playing the best.
You're gonna love it. I got to go Leicester, man. I think from top to bottom and the way they play and their manager, I mean, they've got a top 5 goalie. They've got, apparently Fofana is a legendary center back already. And you always got Jamie Vardy up top. You got Tielemans in the middle. Like, this team, they're not weak anywhere, and they're very opportunistic. This is the year, like you said, that you thought City, shoot, Liverpool's down. All right, that's City in the bag.
Yep.
But here's a team that will hop up there, and they've proven that they'll take it on weird years like this. They'll proven they'll hop up there and do it. That's a team I don't want to play any week.
I like it.
I got to go Tottenham.
Ooh,
I don't like them, but I think they got the better team. as of right now, because you see Tottenham, you see Kane, you see Son, and then you see just honestly just 9 other players that just do their job and move their workload to Son and Kane, and they take care of it. I don't want to play Tottenham ever.
No.
I don't know who would. I know they haven't played just great teams, and that they've only lost that first match to Everton. That was when Everton was playing A+ football. I like Spurs.
Spurs. That's crazy.
I mean, you can go ahead.
I hate to say this. I'm gonna go Chelsea. I think.
Of course, put the pressure on us. Put the pressure on us.
No, I mean, squad-wise, right now, y'all are building chemistry at the perfect time. Like, y'all seem to be firing on all cylinders. I gotta go Chelsea.
Luke?
I will say I agree. My heart makes me want to say Chelsea with every bit. But I do agree with what Jackson's saying about who we've been playing. We've got some tests coming up, and I would hope to be able to say in a couple weeks that I do think it's completely Chelsea. But I think the safe bet here is Leicester. They've got the players that have put it away in the past, and I like to bet on Vardy if I'm trying to play it safe.
I got you. Man, I honestly think, and what my question is, who has the best team? I think Man City has the best team. Like, Man City's team is better than Leicester's. Is Leicester playing better than City? Is Leicester playing better than Man City? Yes. But when you look at Liverpool, the reason they aren't, their back line is gone. And they got Fabinho hurt. Like, there's so many pieces missing. But then you look at City, like, most of the people who need to be there, who play well, are there. They're just not – something's just off. So I look at City, I'm like, bro, y'all, like, if this is anybody's time to win, like I always say, Chelsea has the biggest excuse in the world. We got 4 or 5 different new players playing. Leicester has a big excuse. We're Leicester. It really don't matter what we do. Tottenham is Tottenham. So it's like, City, you have the best team. This is your time. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Definitely what happens in this transfer window. And like you're saying, who gets sacked. But, hey, if anybody has any more questions, Luke, thanks for being here. Jeremiah, thanks for being here, supporting your teams. And I can't wait till Chelsea plays City, baby. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one.
Sure.
Well, thanks for coming on, bro. We love having you.
Thanks
for having us.
For sure.
Yeah.